All right, Andrea, I'm good to go. You can hear me okay? Well, I've got to start it off again because this football coach from the state of Alabama that joined this industry almost a decade ago loves to start every call, every Zoom with big waves and big smiles. So come on, give it back to me now. Got to feel your energy, right? Got to feel your energy. People coming in from all over the world. And again, I want to say an appreciation to everyone that helped make this event possible today. And it's really because of you. I want to take you back before I introduce this person. I was very blessed in the industry almost a decade ago to partner with a gentleman that this person knows dearly. Gary Racer is my mentor. Gary Racer built in this industry over 3 decades ago, and I feel like I have gotten worlds of knowledge from Gary over the years. And you know, he really taught me about the person I'm getting to bring to the call today. And they knew each other way back almost 3 decades ago. And you know, so as I was coming up building a business over the last decade, I've plugged in. I've attended GoPro events in Las Vegas. I've watched the rise of the entrepreneur. I've read the GoPro book. Because at the end of the day, I was someone that had never done this industry before. I was a high school football coach, but I had a dream. I had a vision. I had something I wanted to achieve more for my family, more for my kids, and leave a legacy. And I hoped that this industry was that vehicle for me. And I'll tell you, because I was willing to plug in, because I was willing to plug into things that GoPro allowed me to do, I learned, and I learned from my mentor, also learned from the events I attended, but also just the books I could read, anything that I could grab a little nugget. And so that's why this day is here. That's why this day is here. I had a chance to get on a Zoom maybe a week or so ago with Mr. GoPro himself, Eric Worre, and our president, Mark Wilson from New Age for RX. And I got on the event and I started listening to his vision, talking about what he was going to do with the biggest virtual event he was ever going to host, or that he's ever hosted. It's going to be bigger than any event he's ever put on. But I want to wrap your head around something as I introduce him, because I pray anytime I introduce somebody that deserves edification, I'll let you know that Eric Worre is a leader in the network marketing profession from a coaching and a training standpoint. He's been in the industry over 25 years. But his motto, something that I admire, is he is raising the standard of network marketing. It's not about his company or their company or our company. It's about raising a profession and saying, instead of tearing other buildings down, how about let's just go build the biggest building in this amazing profession? How about let's go pro together? How about let's lock arms and be the best version of ourselves as we possibly can be? And I attended his events with a thought of, how is this going to take shape? All these different companies coming together. There's so much that could go wrong with that. But what I realized is the way he handled it. He didn't allow things to go wrong. And what he allowed was people to feel a part of a profession, just like I did in the coaching industry, and we could all rise to the top. We could all learn from each other. We could all take little nuggets that we believed in and apply it to our business to just be a better version of ourselves and grow our team and come back and give a little bit of that knowledge. And since then, over the years, you know, you're talking about a gentleman that speaks to hundreds of thousands of people every single year. You're talking about somebody that has started his own company, understands being an entrepreneur, that has partnered with people like Tony Robbins, Richard Branson, Pitbull, Eric Thomas, Bob Proctor, Grant Cardone. Because at the core value of him I'm speaking for him right now, but at the core value, he believes in being an entrepreneur. And he believes in the network marketing profession. We're not perfect, but we're just a better way. We truly are. We have a better way. And we've got to get it out to the world, but get it out ethically and honestly with integrity. And that's what he's shouting from the rooftops. So you didn't come here to listen to me, team. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of this organization for coming here today. And I know you're going to gain so much value from what's shared today. But without further ado, I want to turn it over to Mr. Eric Worre. Thank you, Eric, for being here today.
Great to be here. Good to see you. How you doing, Brent?
Absolutely. Doing great, Eric.
You know what you remind me of? You remind me of another football coach who is legendary inside of our profession. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Well, I would love for you to say Art Williams.
That's the one. That's the one.
I love his story.
Art is the man. I'll tell you a quick Art story. I was building a company, network marketing company in the 90s, and Art had kind of taken the buyout or whatever from Citigroup and part of the buyout is he kind of had to go away, and he was missing training. He was missing just having the ability to train. So he called us up and said, hey, I'll come and train for free at one of your events. So he came to Dallas, Texas, and he trained and just crushed it. And I mean, I just love the guy. He just absolutely knocked it out of the park. But the next day, Citigroup called him and said, you get back to your island. You are not allowed to do that. So it was a shame. I had all the money in the world, but loves the team, to be able to help people. And I want to welcome everybody today to chat about how to do better. How do you take your business to the next level? I'm going to give you a few ideas, and we are working together, myself, Brent, Andrea, some of your other big leaders, working together to kind of co-host what is going to be one of the biggest events in network marketing history. Well, it will be the biggest event in network marketing history that's happening this December 11th, 12th, and 13th. But before I talk to you about that, let me, first of all, congratulate you on what you've done so far. You should be proud of what you've done, proud of what you've built. Network marketing isn't perfect, but it is better. If you're going to do it, decide to really do it right. And you're with a great company with great products, great leadership, great compensation plan, great global aspirations, and people involved in the leadership. And I include all of you in that conversation that are ready to take things to another level. And network marketing, it's the most interesting thing. I expected COVID to freeze people, like the financial crisis did 10 years ago, 12 years ago, where people put their head in the sand, wouldn't spend any money, it might have a negative impact on network marketing. The opposite has been the case. We have what everyone wants, is the ability to be able to earn from home. And with all the support in the world, and utilizing what we're doing right now, having this conversation, people are able to reach the world, help them with the products and services. The products help people, especially in these challenging times. And it's been amazing to see the growth and momentum and rank advancement and everything else that's happening this year and beyond. And all of us have had to pivot. All of us have had to get a little bit better. All of us had to be a little bit stronger in order to be able to move through this. And all of us have to use our imagination in order to be able to capitalize on the responsibility that we've all been given. The world needs what we have. We have to get better at finding them and telling them our story. So I've been involved in profession, and you mentioned Gary Racer. Gary is a very old friend. I haven't seen him face to face in too long. He sent me a message this morning about you, Brent. He said, one of the best leaders he has ever had. Just wanted to tell you, he is one of the best leaders I've ever had. I've mentored him for many years. He still remains teachable and focused. Have a great day, Gary. So yeah. So anyway, just so you know, he's thinking about you. Gary and I built together, trained together, worked together decades ago. But I started in this profession 32 years ago, before some of you were born, long time ago. And when I was a young man, and at the beginning, I would love to tell you that I was a straight rocket ship to the moon. That wouldn't be accurate. Gary and I were both at the same company back then. And he was successful. He was powerful. I was struggling. I mean, my first 3 years, I'd build my team up and fall apart, build it up, fall apart, build it up, fall apart. I had no freedom. I had no time. I was working my butt off, making just enough money to be miserable. I don't know if you've been in that spot, but I kind of have a theory. After I coach about 300 people that make $1 million a year in network marketing, and half a dozen making $1 million a month. So from that view, I have a unique perspective. I kind of believe now today, you should either be a tourist and just hang out, enjoy your experience, enjoy the products, don't have too high of expectation, kind of treat this like your obligation to the church choir or the bowling league or whatever. Have fun, meet some friends, use some products, share some products, help some people, make a few bucks. Or you should go all the way. That's kind of my belief. It's like, and however long it takes you to go all the way, I kind of think you should do one or the other. It's the old biblical principle. You kind of go hot or cold. The middle ground is miserable. And I was stuck in the middle ground for like 3 years. And I was focused on systems, and I was focused on timing, and I was focused on positioning, and I was focused on, all the wrong things. Finding the magical tool that was going to do everything for me, or recruiting the magical person that was going to change my business. And I was super frustrated. And I didn't know what to do. And I believe that leaders are born at events. Big decisions are made at events, during events. That's been the truth for me for my whole career. All my big decisions were made during events when I look back. And the only thing that kept me in the game is one of my early mentors told me, don't ever miss a company event. Don't ever miss a major destination event. Just don't ever miss one. So I never did. Even though I couldn't afford it, I'd always find a way. And I remember sitting, I mentioned this in the book Go Pro, but I was sitting in an event, frustrated, like watching people walk across the stage. Now understand, I had the pin 3 years in, I had the pin, and people thought I was somebody, but I was still broke. I just had a job inside of network marketing. I didn't have freedom. I had the income, pay my taxes, have all those expenses. I had no money at the end of it. So it was super frustrating. I was comparing myself to everybody else and watching these people walk across the stage, knowing that I knew more than they knew, knowing that they didn't even understand how they made all their money. These Forrest Gumps walking across the stage, getting all their big awards, getting their flowers and making their speeches. And I was just like, what in the world? What is the matter with me? And I made a decision, and it was almost like an audible snap in my body. I said, wait a minute. What if I decide to be a professional here? What if I walk away from Lucky? What if I forget about timing and positioning? What if I don't worry about who's in my upline or downline? What if I just decide to become an expert at network marketing? I learn the skills, not just in my head, but in practice. If I become an expert, I have to make the money. If I become an expert, I have to be able to help people. If I become an expert, the company has to invite me up on the stage. If I become world class, the world class itself will take care of me. And I'm like age 26, 27. when I make this decision. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that. And in that one instant, when I made the decision, really a decision, I thought I made the decision a lot of times in the first 3 years, but I didn't really. When I really made the decision, all the fear that I had in my body drained out of my body. And I went, I have a plan. And nobody can stop me. Nobody can stop me. No one or nothing can stop me. If I want to be the CEO of Coca-Cola, lots of things can stop me. If I want to be the coach of the Georgia Bulldogs, all different kinds of things can stop me. But if I want to be top rank in this network marketing company, nothing can stop me. I can control that. I adopted a philosophy with this decision that I never lose. You can't beat me. You can try, but you can't. It's impossible. Because either I win in every situation or I learn in every situation. And I learn more from failing than I do from succeeding. So it doesn't even matter if I fail. Go ahead, reject me. I'll learn more and I'll be better tomorrow. Go ahead. I'll have a terrible day. I'll learn more and I'll be better tomorrow. I just get better every single day. I'm just like the freaking Terminator of developing myself. And so long as I get better every day and I put it into practice, I win. And not only do I win, I help other people win. Okay, I'm good. So I started on this process. And my first focus was on skills. And I would encourage you, no matter what you're doing in this business, where you're at, strengthen your skills, your fundamental skills of network marketing. Because for me, some people say you got to start with your mindset. That wasn't the way it worked for me. I've learned that psychologically, there's only three things that a person has to have in order to be successful in network marketing. The only three things, okay? Here's the three things. Number one, they need to be willing. You can't force somebody to be successful. Number two, they need to be coachable. They've got to be able to listen, follow instruction, humble themselves a little bit. I cannot help somebody that won't listen. Ours is a different business. And number three, they need to be hungry. If somebody's not hungry, I cannot help them. So they have to have all three. But here's the good news. If they have all three, that's all you need. You don't have to have anything else. If you have those three, you're good to go all the way to the top. Doesn't matter what you've done, success or failure in the past, does not matter. So I adopt this philosophy of I'm going to develop these skills. I'm going to learn these skills. I figured out what the 7 skills are: finding prospects, inviting prospects, presenting to prospects, following up with prospects, helping people get started as a customer or distributor, helping people make the decision, closing, helping people get started as a distributor, and promoting events. Those 7 skills. None of them are difficult to learn. None of them. But they're the highest paying set of skills in the world in comparison to how difficult they are to learn. They're easy to learn. And I'm nobody's prize. I'm a very slow learner. I was not good in formal education. I would not qualify to go to any college in the world. My mom sent me my SAT scores for all of you teachers out there and, smart people. My SAT scores, you want to know what my score was? I'll tell you what my score was. 1600 is the max, right? I had 930. 930 was my SAT scores. I had a 1.9, I think 1.9 GPA in high school. I had 18 jobs by the time I was 23 years old. And I have earned an absolute staggering fortune over the course of my career. And I've coached an enormous amount of people to do the same thing. So you can't tell me that it requires all this other kind of stuff if you want to be successful. You just got to be willing, coachable, and hungry. And if you're willing to do those things and get better every single day, you're going to be good. So here's what happened to me when it came to the skills. When I started to develop these skills, the moment I started to develop the skills and I'd made a decision, my confidence went up. I learned how to tell my story. My confidence went up. I learned how to do the presentation. My confidence went up. I learned how to answer the objection. I don't have the time. My confidence went up. And when my confidence went up, I took more action. And when my action went up, I got better results. And you know what that made me want to do? Learn more skills. And when I did that, confidence, action, results, skills, confidence, action, results, skills, confidence, action, results. And pretty soon, it didn't take long after making a decision and working on skills for me to get to 7 figures a year. When I was 29 years old, I made $980,000 in commissions. When, a long time ago, that was a lot more than it is today, right? So, and it started this huge career for me. So some people tell you got to figure out your mindset. You got to have a why that makes you cry, all that stuff. I think that's true. The mindset's important, but for me, it was second. Skills were important for me to get some traction, get things moving. And then I started working on my mindset. I had to learn how to think like an entrepreneur, not like an employee. I had to give myself permission to do things before I was ready, to take action before I had a plan, to say yes before I could afford it. That's what entrepreneurs do. They do all this crazy stuff that gets punished as an employee, but it gets rewarded as an entrepreneur. So I was willing to put myself in potentially embarrassing situations and handle it. Put a smile on my face, love in my heart, shoulders back, say, well, I screwed that up, but guess what? I'll be better next time. And I just didn't treat myself so seriously. And I let go of caring about other people's opinions of what I was doing or how I was doing. I didn't let other people control my life. So this thinking thing changed everything for me. I started focusing on the right things instead of focusing on blaming other people or other things for my problems. I took responsibility. If there was no support system, I became the support system. If there was no training, I figured out the training. If there was no tool, I made a tool. I just took charge of my life. And you could do the same. But that's a mindset thing. I'm telling you. So skills were first, mindset was second. The third thing, this is the fastest way I know to accelerate your business and accelerate your life, is to model successful people. Model the behaviors and the thinking of people who have done what you want to do. If I have a skill that I'm proud of, is I have an unusual awareness. I have the ability to see things other people don't see. They're literally invisible to other people. I watch what people really do, not just what they say, not what they train. You know what I found out? Most of the top trainers don't even know how to express to people what they really do. You know, they do trainings that rhyme, and they do trainings that sound good, and do trainings that people are excited and take notes and they jump up and down. But that's when they get off the stage, they're not doing that. They do something else. Now, they're not trying to be deceitful. They just don't know. They're either repeating what their upline trained them, and they're repeating it because it's popular, or they're scared of, they're worried about scaring their downline with the truth as to how hard they're working or whatever. But I learned to really pay attention. What do people do? And then even though I wasn't confident, I could copy what they did. I could be like an actor copying what they did, and I would get their results. It's the most amazing thing. If I modeled their behavior, it was like a time machine. I could do what they did, and I'm a year more successful without being a year older. I'm a year smarter without being a year older. It's so cool. So that was one area of accelerating my business. But the other ones are kind of in one group, but 3 different things. One is mentors, finding a mentor. Like Brent says, Gary was a mentor to him. Number 2 is finding or paying for or whatever, getting a coach that knows what it is that you're doing. A coach is a powerful thing. Somebody will push you into your greatest potential. or a mastermind group, a group of people who think bigger than you do, getting around bigger thinking people. And I learned something early on. When I first started in the profession, they say, you know, spend time with successful people. Well, when you're not successful, that's not easy to do. They say, buy a millionaire lunch. Well, good luck. They don't have a lot of time for you. They're busy doing millionaire stuff. You're a millionaire, go buy a billionaire lunch. Well, good luck. They're busy doing billionaire stuff. So very rarely, I think what most people want is a coach or a mentor that will move into their house with them, essentially, call them every day, push them to do what they're supposed to do, force them to go do more push-ups or whatever it happens to be. And that's not how it works. My greatest mentors were people that I never met. Jim Rohn was one of my greatest mentors in the world. And Jim Rohn couldn't give me his time. I wasn't worth his time. I hadn't earned my way into that crowd. But I bought an audio program from him called Challenge to Succeed, which was 6 audio cassettes at the time. And I put that into my car and I listened to it 1,000 times. I wore it out. Now, even if Jim was my personal friend and he was a mentor, he was willing to give me 3 hours of his life to tell me everything he knew. If he did that, I would only be able to listen to it 1 time. But because I had the audio program, I pretended he was sitting in the back seat of my car and I listened to it 1,000 times. And it burned a groove in my brain. It helped me reprogram myself to be better. So Jim Rohn was a mentor to me before he even knew it. Og Mandino, greatest salesman in the world, was a mentor to me before he even knew it. Les Brown was a mentor to me. You got to be hungry. A mentor to me before he even knew it. And I drove around and I used to pretend that those 3 were sitting in the backseat of my car, just talking. And I was driving them around town like I was their chauffeur, and they were pouring their knowledge into me. And I just got to listen. And I got to tell you, I earned my way into a better crowd. I earned my way into qualifying for mentors that were powerful. I earned my way into having actual physical coaches that had an impact in my life. I earned it. I earned it by tapping into the books, tapping into the audio programs, tapping into the videos, tapping into their trainings or coaching or whatever. I earned my value by getting into a more powerful group. And I've got to tell you, in earning it, one of the crazy moments in my life, about 6 years after, I was driving around pretending these guys were in the backseat of my car. I'm in Dallas, Texas, and I'm not driving a POS car anymore. I'm driving a nice car. And in the back seat of my car was Jim Rohn, Les Brown, and Og Mandino in real life. And they were just having a conversation. And I was taking them over to, talk with some people that were part of our organization. And they had no idea that I called them there. They had no idea that I attracted them into the backseat of my car. They had no idea that of the hundreds of hours I drove around with them in my car before they were actually in my car. And they all became my friend. You can earn yourself into a higher group. You can, but you have to work for it. You do have to earn it. You can't demand it. You have to deserve it. So the cool thing is virtually, you have the ability to have virtual coaches, virtual mentors, virtual masterminds, in order to be able to expand your thinking and figure out the strategy. With that in modeling, what's working right now around the world? How are people pivoting in our current situation? Raise your awareness and start collecting those ideas like I collect all the time. And finally, I learned that leadership was everything. Leadership was everything. Ultimately, the engine that drives this all is leadership. It's the engine that holds it together, keeps it together. It's not just recruits, and it's not just sales. It's not just customers, it's leaders. Show me a great coach and I'll show you a better team. It's just, and that's true everywhere in the world, with every organization in the world. It's the reason why the CEOs get paid all the big bucks. Leadership. Take two groups of equal size. One has a great leader, one doesn't. The great leaders group is going to be more productive, have more sales, have more rank advancement, have more success. So it took me a while to develop myself into leadership. And when I did, I had to go to the next phase of helping other people develop into leaders and then teaching them how to do the same thing. Once you get leadership duplication in your organization, it is another level of success. It's just another level. I'm happy when two things are happening in my life. One is when I'm growing, and two is when I'm contributing. I was done working for money a long time ago. I do what I do now for contribution. I do what I do now to be able to help people. I do what I do now for purpose and for legacy. I'm on this Zoom right now because you know why? There's about a dozen people on this Zoom, maybe 20, that are going to absolutely help to revolutionize your company and the network marketing profession all over the world. And I don't know who they are. And of these 20, most of them, nobody knows your name. But they will. Because you're making a decision, you're going to step into your greatness, and you're going to go make all that stuff happen. That's what makes me excited. And what fuels me today, I just had a Zoom call with a young lady who I met her 5 years ago. She came to a training. She was making about $200,000 a year at the time. And I challenged her to stop playing small. And she accepted the challenge. And today she makes about $400,000 a month, 30 years old, 5 years in network marketing. Okay. Had some struggle, had some challenge, but she'll make $5 million this year in commissions. She has 500,000 customers, 500,000 customers on her team using her product. So I get to be a little part of that story, you know? It's so fun for me. So anyway, I want to talk to you about something that myself and Brent and the leaders here are doing together that can help you. If you're ready to have a breakthrough in your life, put a 1 into the comments. If you're ready to have a breakthrough, if you're ready to change everything, you're ready to grow, ready to have 2021 be the best year of your career, close 2020 strong, I'm going to give you an opportunity to do that, an easy opportunity for you to be able to take a step and go, okay? So we've hosted an event for the last 10 years in Las Vegas called GoPro. And this event is 3 days designed to be able to help you have a breakthrough. And what I hear more than anything else from people who attend is it expands people's minds. They see the big picture and they go, okay, I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to go after it. So COVID has made it impossible for us to be able to host GoPro. So I will tell you what we've done. And let me tell you where the idea came from briefly. I was skeptical of an online event, that it would be interesting, that people would want to pay for it, and would it be valuable? Can I share my screen? Yeah, I can. Let me show you something real quick that convinced me that we could do something cool and different. Tony Robbins built this. I don't know if many of you know Tony Robbins, but he built this huge studio in Florida. It's like 50 feet around, 14 feet tall, interactive, fully interactive, where all those people up on the screen are like live people, and he's able to talk with them in real time. You know how tall Tony is. He's, practically 7 feet tall. You can see what that experience looks like when he's connecting with people. He can bring people up on the big screen and have a conversation with them. He told me the key to this whole thing being successful is he was like calling out 500 to 1,000 names every single day. And it was freaking people out. Like, oh my gosh, Tony just called my name. I could be next, or that somebody that wasn't, I could be the next one, or they see themselves up on the screen, and it engaged them creatively. You could pull somebody up on split screen, show me your muscles. You could interact with people in the chat. People are holding up signs and they're excited at home. Okay. So I was like, okay, this is cool. I could do this. We could do our GoPro event, which is the best event in network marketing history. It's awesome. It's amazing. We could do it doing this. So I called up Tony and said, Tony, would you rent me your studio? Because he'd spent like $6 million building this studio down in Florida. Would you rent it to me in December so we could do GoPro inside of the studio? And he said, Eric, I love you, but I'm not renting it to anybody. No offense. Everybody's calling. I'm saying no to everybody. So without resistance, there's no creativity. The obstacle becomes the way. So here's what we're doing. We are currently in the process of building this. This is a $20 million world's greatest virtual interactive event studio. It is a spaceship. It is unbelievable what we're going to be able to do with delivering this event to you. And you know what we deliver during this event? The mindset, the skills, the strategy, the leadership, the game plan, the best in the world. What's working right now. This event's going to be December 11th, 12th, and 13th. Those 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. December 11th, 12th, and 13th. And I want to make it so easy for you to participate in this event and for you to get a ticket today. I want to make it the easiest possible, the biggest no-brainer in the world to get a ticket today and be part of this. When Tony did his event, he broke people into 300-person Zoom rooms. You see, this was like the chat of Zoom room number 30. 300 people in a Zoom room. We did that so there would be good technical support for people. There'd be good moderators to make sure people weren't doing inappropriate stuff. But also there's like a camaraderie built inside of this group. So what we did with Brent and the leadership is we allowed them as leaders to reserve their own private Zoom room inside of our GoPro event, just for you and your team, just for the people who are watching this right now. You could participate inside of this Zoom room and have inside of the chat, it's all about your products, your focus, your year, your recognition, your everything. And you still all participate in the greater GoPro event. So it's really, really cool. What is your guys' link for this? virtualgopro.com/what?
Team Undeniable.
Team Undeniable. So maybe somebody can put that link into the comments. virtualgopro.com/team undeniable. Now I'm going to make it very difficult for you to not register for this today. Okay. I'm going to do my best to make it super, super hard for you to say no to this decision today. First of all, you're going to get 27 hours of the best training in the world over the course, 9 hours a day for 3 straight days, the best in history. It's going to be the biggest event in network marketing history. You don't want to miss it. First of all. Second of all, you're going to get extra value from your leaders being part of this group. Where in the chat, you're going to get extra training, extra value, extra information that they're going to be providing to you. If you're part of this group, you're going to want to be part of that room. Third, anybody who gets a ticket today, I created some of the best-selling courses in the history of network marketing. And I want to give you 6 of them today. If you register and get a ticket for this event, the event ticket's $297. Don't have to fly to Vegas, don't have to get a hotel room, don't have to get a flight, don't have to Uber all over the place and take care of your meals and everything else. You can watch this from the comfort of your home over these 3 days. I'll give you all 6 of these courses. First steps designed to launch or relaunch your business. Unstoppable Confidence, to help you have that experience in your life of unstoppable confidence. How to Master Objections, not worry about that anymore. Social Media Mastery, how to build using social media and network marketing. 7 skills in 7 days, how to develop those same fundamental skills that will create a career for you. And then my #1 course that I've ever created, how to recruit 20 people in 30 days. There's a general course, and then there's one just for women, an intensive boot camp just for women on how to recruit 20 people in 30 days. I've helped tens of thousands of people recruit 20 people in 30 days. I can help you do the same thing too. It's worth it just for that course. But I'll give you all 6, $2,000 worth of courses. For real, you'll have them in 20 minutes. You register now, and I'll send them to you. You'll have them in 20 minutes. Now, I want to do one other thing. And my team freaks out when I do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. This book, I don't know how many of you have this book, but this book has sold over 3 million copies around the world, #1 book in network marketing. If for the first 50 people on this team right now, on this Zoom right now, that click on the link, virtualgopro.com/what? What is it? What's the link again?
Undeniable.
Team Undeniable.
Team Undeniable. virtualgopro.com/Team Undeniable. And you get your course. First 50 people, I will sign a copy of this book for you, and I'll mail it to your house. Okay? My treat. My treat. I want you to have it. If you already have a copy, I want to send you a signed copy. First 50 people do that, I will do that. Here's what I will tell you. If I hated your guts and I wanted you to quit network marketing, I would encourage you not to go to this event. If I loved you, I just would insist. If I wanted to have you have success in this profession, I would insist. Because if you'll say yes to this, a couple things are going to happen. First of all, the event is going to light your fire like nothing else. Secondly, the moment you register, you are now a different person for the next 60 days. You'll be more focused, more active, more consistent, more passionate, bigger vision, because you said yes to you. Now, I don't know if there's a better way for you to learn and grow faster than this. If there is, please take it. But for me, there's 2 different, if you already purchased a ticket, I'll take care of you. Don't worry about it. Absolutely. And if you have a ticket that's not in this group for whatever reason, just these leaders know how to contact our VIP team, and we'll move you into the group. So no stresses, no drama, no nothing. But you'll be different on your way to this event. You'll be different when you leave this event. And if you're smart, everybody that's registered, do everything in your power to encourage your people on your team to go. It's going to be that amazing. It will not change my life 1 iota if you don't go, but it'll change yours. It'll change yours if you go. You'll be able to move faster than you would have moved without it, for sure, guaranteed. And I'm going to give you a few more comments, and then I'll throw it back to your leaders. And it's been a privilege to talk with you today. First thing that I would offer to you is every single one of you needs to think bigger. The world is not served by you playing small. You need to think bigger. You just do. Whatever your goals are, you need to double them. You need to double them again. You need to raise those goals to the point that it makes you sweat and it makes you scared a little bit to even look at them. If your goals aren't scaring you a little bit, you're playing too small. Okay, think bigger. Number 2, it's time to be stronger. Stop waiting for somebody else to be strong. You be strong. Stop blaming other people for your problems. Take charge. Take responsibility. This is your life. It's your business. Be stronger than your circumstance. Be stronger than your past. Be stronger than your failures. Be stronger than your negative emotions. Be stronger than your negative friends and family. Time to be stronger. Stop hiding how powerful you are just to make somebody else feel better about themselves. Show the world what you're made of. You already know what you're made of. It's powerful stuff. You just got to decide you're going to show it to them. Give yourself permission to show the most powerful version of you to the world. And finally, you need to move faster. Success loves speed, velocity, momentum. If you're going to get a ticket anyway to this, do it today. And you're going to get better results. If you're going to get to that rank anyway, get it over with. If you're going to go recruit 20 people, do it in 30 days, not 30 weeks or 30 months. It's a different result. Same 30 people, way different result. Success loves speed. Go fast. The biggest lie in the world is slow and steady wins the race. Not true. In our profession, slow and steady will starve you to death. Hanging around is not going to cause you to be successful. And you know those people, the walking dead inside your team, they're on every Zoom. They go to every event, they use the products every day, and they are not having any success, and they have no chance of having success because they bought into the story that inch by inch it's a cinch. Not true. You've got to be the rabbit for a season, and then the turtle for a season, and then the rabbit again. But if you just stay in turtle mode, you might as well just have a job someplace. I would save you the pain. Slow and steady will not win you the race. Now, quitting will guarantee that you're going to lose the race. But just hanging around won't do it. You want to have a breakthrough, you got to change the intensity. You got to do something that scares you. You got to push, you got to grow. You got to decide that you're going to do something outrageous. So, last thing I will tell you is you got this. You got this. You can do this. One person who's made a real decision is a majority. One person says, you know what? I'm going to the top. You're going to see me waving from the top or dead on the side. I'm not coming back. I'm going to the top. I'm going to do it. As soon as you make that decision, the world will get out of your way. Until you make that decision, every obstacle will seem like a mountain. You won't even be able to get past it. You got to make that decision. So with that, I hope you do get registered. I hope I can send you a book today. I know they're going to fill up their room. There's a maximum capacity inside of their room of 300 people. So I hope you're one of them that get inside of this room right away to be a part of it. If you don't, I think you're going to regret it. And I'll throw it back to the leaders and I'll listen to what you guys have to say. So pass it back.
Eric, thank you so much. Big guy, I know how busy you are. I'm actually headed out to the West Coast, coming to see you in a week or so with a group of leaders. And I'm in Sandestin right now with a group of leaders. And like you said, with masterminds, it's who I can get around. With our company, a lot of you know Chris Doyle and Todd Rowland. They're amazing leaders, world of knowledge. And one of the things, Eric, that I'll end with and tell everybody on the call is I went through the course of recruiting 20 people in 30 days. And Andrea Rosser can attest to this because we held each other accountable through the process. And it was something really good, just absolutely amazing for my business. And it was on that course that I went to become $1 million earner in the industry. But at that point, what I realized was my mentor had been teaching me all the right things, but when I heard it from a different perspective and I just kept applying, kept running, it made me want to run faster and it achieved. And we've got a chance right here. I think Eric would attest to this. Every 7-figure earner in our industry takes October, November, and December to charge for the new year, charge for 2021. And our industry's primed for that. And Eric, I know you're a proponent of every company, but I also know about, New Age for RX, and you know personally Mark Wilson, and you know what we're doing there. And it's just one of those moments when your company is propelling and you got this amazing industry that direct to the consumer is not going backwards, it's going straight through the roof. And making income from home is going through the roof. And when you can plug into something like this, and I love the time that you did it, December the 11th, 12th, and 13th, this is going to really help you set your 2021 on fire. So I highly recommend, and I hope.
Well, and let me just give some people some shout outs, because I'm looking here in real time right now. Kathy Jenks, Faith Ford, Franklin McDaniel, Christy Doris, Sun Tran, Alina Fitzgerald, Rick Briefs, Marilyn Thorne, Elizabeth Burke, Kathy Michael, Betsy Waters, Scott Rott, Christy Bean, Jerry Costel, Deborah Rizzo, Joe Cooper, Julie Bradshaw, Mason Woodall, Angela McTammany, Eva Baca Currents, Hydri Stander, Michelle Blanchard, Dion Hill, Jacqueline Clement, Reginald Torin, Diane Bellew, Eva Marie Griffin, Anna Hornberg, Tamara Maltby, Rebecca San Miguel Gursky, Kathy Kurkowski, William Kelly, Josh Cap, Tina Ziabro, Terry Glasgow, Melinda Lanier, Lindy Landman, Anna Williamson, Linda Bean, Jessica Broadway, and that was just in the first couple minutes. So congratulations to all those, plus the others that are going to make that decision, in the next few minutes. So congratulations.
Absolutely, Eric. And I want to, I know we're about out of time, but I want to ask you a question real quick, because I had a personal conversation with Mark Wilson, and he really saw this event as one of those really, just one of those things. He came to the GoPro last year, and he had a huge team there from RX last year that strategized after the event and kind of on what they were going to do going into 2021. The team saw record growth. But, just as you've had conversations with Mark, anything you want to input there as we end today? He's obviously a tremendous, it's amazing to be a part of a president that is, respected in our industry and does what he does. But, I know that you've had personal conversations with Mark on what he thinks about the GoPro event with his company and how it can 10X your business, if not more.
Yeah, and he could tell you more about that, but I'll just tell you, I'm a big respecter of Mark. We've been friends and we work together pretty closely on different strategies and ideas. He sees this as a way to be able to leverage this event because he's attended and he's been a fan of it. Lots of your top corporate people and field leaders have been a part of it. But this is a way for you guys to be able to kind of have an event inside of the event, which is what got him excited. And also to be able to close 2020 strong and set people up, because it's really important it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. Your company's about to go into momentum and you need to be prepared with the skills, the mindset, and the strategy. So if you'll do those things, then when that hits, you'll be ready to run. I was involved, my very first company, when Gary and some other of my mentors were superstar successful people. I was not prepared for the opportunity when momentum hit with that company. They were. And because of that, they just dwarfed me in income and success. But I vowed that I was going to paddle as hard as I can. So the next time momentum came around, I was going to be prepared. So I would just encourage you to do the same thing. Make sure that you're prepared for the 2021 that you deserve. There's a big difference between production and leadership. And sometimes production sales can outgrow the leaders. And if you don't grow up as a leader, the production is going to come down to the level of leadership ultimately. So you've got to grow that leadership line with you and everybody in your team. Make sure they're the best trained. Make sure they've got the best thinking. Make sure you have the best strategy. Make sure you have the best leadership development in order to be able to take advantage of it. Okay? So yeah, that's my advice is they see a big picture. You should see a big picture. but we can lead you all the way to this thing. But guess what you got to do? You got to go to a link. You got to click on a button. You got to take a stand for you and say, okay, I'm going to do it before I even know how I'm going to figure it all out. I'm going to do it. I want to make it happen. I want to be a part of this. I'm going to take charge of my life, and we'll do it together. That's the fun part. You know, we'll get to know each other. We'll be able to hang out. And we'll be able to do it together. So proud of all of you.
Absolutely. Eric, thank you so much. Yeah, I always say, I end every time we get together as a group or as a team or I'm talking, I'm like, one thing I can promise people, this company will not let you down. The products are amazing. They will not let you down. But the leadership is what is going to absolutely be there for you. And Eric, with your help today and with you putting on this event, this is a leadership opportunity where we're extending it, going, come be a leader with us into this new age, into this new era, as we absolutely help this industry just reach the stratosphere.
Yep.
So the link's there. Go click it. Join us on the 11th, 12th, and 13th. And Eric, I know you're going to rock the stage with a lot of amazing people.
It's going to be great. And all of you who have a ticket, set a goal to convince one person from your team to get a ticket also today. Just don't go to sleep until you have one friend that's going to go experience this with you. Make that happen. Okay?
Thank you so much, Eric. I'll see you
It's a
next
pleasure.
weekend in Las
Good to
Vegas.
see you. Good to see you, Andrea.
Absolutely.
Good to see everybody. Gloria, Eva, David, or Steve, everybody that I can see on the screen right now. Good to see y'all. Have
Thank
a
you,
good one,
sir.
okay? Can't wait
Have a
to see you
great
on the other side.
Yes, yes, yes. See you. Grateful for you. Love you, everybody. Have a great day.
Many
Let's
blessings.
unmute.